Today we're going to show you how to crochet the wave stitch. So we're using a 10mm hook and our chunky cotton yarn for this video. And we're going to start off with a slip knot. So we do have a separate video, but essentially you just cross your tail over the yarn that's connected to the ball, pull it through, and now you'll have a knot that will slide up and down. So slide it onto your hook, and now it's time to chain. So a wave stitch is worked in chains of 12. So for this video, we're going to do a swatch of 24 stitches. So we're going to chain 24. So now that we've finished our foundation chain of 24, we're going to create our turning chain of 3. And now it's time to start. So we're going to insert our hook into the 4th chain from our hook. And yarn over, insert your hook into the 4th chain, and now we're going to work a double crochet. So yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the remaining 2 loops. And so that chain 3 is going to count as our first double crochet. So now we have 2 double crochets. And so the next step is to work 3 double crochets into the next 3 chains. So that's the first, yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, and then pull it through the remaining 2 loops. And then we've got 1 more to go. Great, so now we have 5 double crochets. So the next step in this stitch pattern is to create the dip. So to do that, we're going to double crochet 2 together. So insert your hook into your next chain. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops. And now, rather than complete this stitch, we're going to start our next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain and pull it through. Yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull it through all 3 loops on your hook. And that is how you do 2 double crochets together. So that is our first decrease. So we're going to do that 1 more time. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull it through, yarn over, and pull it through the first 2 loops. And then we're going to start our next stitch with 2 loops on our hook. And now yarn over and pull it through the first 2 loops. And then yarn over and pull it through the remaining 3 loops on your hook. And now you've completed 2 double crochets together. So the next step is to do 3 double crochets into the next 3 chains. So that's our first double crochet. Our second double crochet, and now 1 more. Great. Now you can start to see the pattern slowly emerging. So we want to create our peak now. So to do that, we're going to do an increase. So we'll do 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And now we're going to do a 2nd double crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the same chain, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, and then pull it through the remaining 2 loops. And now you can see that we've got 2 double crochets on the same chain. So let's do that again. Do our first double crochet, and now we're going to work into the same stitch. And that is our 2nd increase. So you can see that we've got 2 double crochets worked into the same stitch. And now we're going to start the pattern again. So we do 3 double crochets. Okay, so we've got 3 double crochets. Now it's time to do 2 double crochets together. So insert your hook into your next chain, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops. And now we're going to start our next stitch. So yarn over, insert it into the next chain, and then pull it through the first 2 loops. And now we're going to pull our yarn through the remaining 3 loops on our hook. And that is our first 2 double crochets together. And we'll do it one more time. And then pull it through the remaining 3 loops. And now you've done 2 decreases in a row. Now we're going to do 3 double crochets. And you'll repeat this pattern until you have 1 chain left. So because we've chained on 24, we now have 1 chain left. So in our last chain, we're going to finish with an increase. So we're going to do 2 double crochets into our last chain. And that is the end of our first row. So you can see the wave pattern. So here with our decreases, we've got a nice dip, the peak where we have our increases, another dip, and then the 2 peaks on the end where we have 2 double crochets worked into the 1 stitch. So let's start our new row. So we're going to do that with a new color. And we start off with a chain 3. So with our new color, we're going to pull it through for a chain 1 and then pull the loose end so that it's nice and secure on our hook. And then chain 2 and chain 3. And we're just going to cut off that tail so that it's really easy to work with and we don't get tangled. Alrighty, now it's time to turn our work. So for our second row, we're going to work another double crochet into the same stitch as our chain 3. So yarn over, insert your hook into that first stitch, pull your yarn through the stitch, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, pull it through the last 2 loops. And so now we have an increase on the end. So we're going to work our decreases on top of our decreases and our increases on top of our increases. So the next step is to do 3 double crochets like normal. So that's 1. 2, and now 1 more double crochet. And now you can see that we have our 2 double crochets together underneath. So it's time to do our matching decreases on top. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, and then instead of finishing that stitch off, we're going to work our next stitch. Pull it through the first 2 loops, and then pull it through all 3 loops on your hook, and that is your first decrease. And we're going to do 1 more. And then start our next stitch. And then pull our yarn through all 3 loops on our hook to complete our second decrease. Great. So we can see that we've matched our 2 double crochets together underneath. So now it's time to do 3 double crochets into our next 3 stitches. Great, so now that's done, it's time to do our increases for our next peak. So we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then do another double crochet into the same stitch. So insert your hook into the same stitch and then finish your double crochet. And then we're going to repeat that in our next stitch. So we're going to do 1 more increase. Great, so we finished our peak. Now it's time to do 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. And now to complete our next dip, we need to do 2 decreases in a row. And we're almost at the end of our row. So we're going to do 3 double crochets until we have 1 stitch left. So you can see that we're at the end of our row. So now it's time to do 2 double crochets into the top of our chain 3. So yarn over, insert your hook into the top of your chain 3. Yarn over, pull it through. Pull it through the first 2 stitches and then the last 2 stitches, and then we're going to do 1 more double crochet into that chain 3. And that is the end of your second row. So you can see that we've got our peaks and our dips all stacked on top of each other. So you'll just continue this pattern until you hit your desired length.